Alright guys, so usually this is my cardio of choice. It's not only good for fat loss benefits, but also the mental benefits. It's pretty relaxing, and it is nice to get out here in the wild. So it's pretty, here what? Where? Every time I say wild, I swear to God, I'm Bear Grylls. Yeah, we know. And today I'm going to show you the best cardio workout to burn fat using nothing but the desolate landscape. No, you're not. This is my video. Let's do it.
Now, running is a great source of cardio that dates back as far as 200 years.
Stop! No, wait. That is just so draining and boring. Bad idea. Next exercise.
Some tribes even see it as an activity just for fun. Another essential cardio tool is swimming. Swimming is one of the most relaxing forms of cardio and is basically meditation. There are stories of Buddhist monks that will literally swim like this just to calm down. As you can see, it is just so peaceful. Also a really good way to wash your clothes without a visit to the laundromat.
Now moving to one of my favorite cardio workouts to really get your heart rate going. Robbery.
The art of stealing has been around for centuries. Stealing anything you can get your hands on is an easy way to boost your metabolism and burn extra calories. Just make sure you're quick enough to make it out alive. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what if I don't have access to any of this fancy equipment? And this is where my home workouts come in handy. This one's a favorite. Brushing my teeth really quickly is a sure way to burn that fat right off the bone. High intensity dog patting, superset with dog bench press. And lastly, sometimes I like to kidnap myself and try to get out of it using nothing but survival instincts.
Is anybody there? Hello? Hello?
Now, just so you guys know, cardio doesn't have to be that intense. Now, if you're new to my channel, you're probably thinking like, what did I just watch? And I can't explain it because my humor is very strange, but if you keep watching videos, you'll understand and hopefully you'll get around me. But I'm basically insane. I'm insane. Anyway guys, today's video. Now I wanted to make another cardio video that is basically good for anyone. So I want this video to be good for the beginner who just wants to maybe improve their fitness or get in shape but doesn't know really where to start with cardio or if you need it, to the advanced who wants to get in sickening, disgusting, shredded shape and then thinks what's the best way of going about it. So I'll talk about the information behind it, a few little like anecdotes, stories that I've done, as well as what I think are like best practices and different ways of doing it. So I really want to cover everything. Sorry, I just got a blood clot. I want to cover everything in this video. So before we get started guys, a couple of admin things to go over. One, sorry, this mess is terrible, but I just got some new Gymshark deliveries, including this stringer. And as well, there is a new EHP Labs, my own special supplement discount in the description as well, up to 40% off. So you guys can get that and get my brand new shaker as well. It's some really good deals, only for my followers only. So let's get into this video.
So the question, do you need cardio? Now, this depends on the person, so this depends on you. If you're somebody who wants to get in shape, you don't really care how long it takes, you're happy to chip away at it, then no, you don't really need it. You can burn that body fat through just creating the deficit through diet alone. So what that means is you need to be burning more than you're eating. So let's say you burn, 2,000 calories overall, including everything. Now, you're burning 2,000 calories, you need to be eating 1,500 to achieve about a half a kilo of weight loss a week through a 500 calorie daily deficit. Now that's not a lot of food. So you're eating 1,500, you're burning 2,000, it sucks. So you could be eating 1,800, all right? It's a little bit more comfortable. And you're burning 200 calories a day from fat and you're slowly chipping away at it. So the results might not be as quick, but you're still getting results, okay? So a lot of the time people think you don't need cardio because you just need a deficit and that can be created through food alone. And of course it can. But what's important is the size of the deficit. So if you're creating a 500 calorie deficit through a mix of diet and cardio, you're gonna be burning a lot more body fat per week, per day, than somebody who's just creating a 100 calorie deficit, who's technically in a deficit, but it's just through diet alone. So that's where you got to think, okay, how much fat do I really want to be burning a day? I would say comfortably a pound a week is pretty normal if you want to go pretty hard. But if you kind of just like don't really care, you just want to slowly get in shape, maybe get a little bit stronger in the gym or something, you don't really care how long it takes, then I would say just do it through diet alone, because that way you don't have any potential risk of the cardio impacting your ability to train in the gym, and it's another thing you don't have to worry about. But if you really want to get in shape and you want to burn fat and you might hit a plateau, then yeah guys, you're going to need to do cardio. Now let's talk about the types of cardio. So you've probably heard about HIIT cardio, which is high intensity interval training, and LISS, which is low intensity steady state. So HIIT is more like you'll sprint for 20 seconds, all out, 100% max effort, and you'll walk for a minute. And you kind of will do that for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. One key thing to note about HIIT is true HIIT is you are training 100% in your high intervals. It's 100% all out effort. Now that is really hard to maintain. So that's one disadvantage of HIIT, is that I don't like doing it because literally when I'm dieting and my food is low, the last thing I feel like I can do is go, okay, 100%, I'm gonna sprint right now, all out. It's just, I know myself, I'll be like 10 weeks into a diet and thinking, I'm not running as hard as I possibly can for 20 seconds there. Stuff that. I'll walk here for 6 hours, you know? So that's why it's like, it depends on like individual differences. But again, like HIIT has positives too. So what you will get is increased like afterburn effect, which is from EPOC, like an increase in EPOC, which is, for those who care, excess post-oxygen consumption. So basically, it's like you're smashing yourself so hard in your high intensity, like in your intervals, then it'll actually burn more calories later on in the day. So it's like kind of like you're boosting your metabolic rate. So it sounds pretty efficient, and HIIT is efficient in itself because you're burning the calories in the session and you'll burn a bit more calories later in the day, and it's over in 20 minutes or so. One disadvantage of HIIT is that you will burn less calories during the workout most of the time as compared to a longer duration LISS, because it's done in 20 minutes. There's only so many calories you can burn in 15, 20 minutes. But that's why I do like LISS, is because LISS, you can burn more calories in a session. So maybe 45, 60 minute session, you can burn 600 calories. You won't burn as much later in the day, but I don't really care. I mean, it's easier for me than doing high intensity, and it's much more consistent, and that way it's sustainable. So that's why it's all well and good for you guys to go, okay, that's it, nah, HIIT's better, I'm doing HIIT, and you'll do HIIT for a week, and then you don't do anything for 6 weeks because it sucks. So I'd rather you guys go, okay, what's realistic for me to do? HIIT 3 times a week, or go for a walk and do something a little bit longer duration that's still quite intense, but not all that max effort. Do that 5 times a week. You kind of weigh it up. It's literally personal preference, guys. Me personally, I just like a 45, 60 minute, which I'll talk about a bit later, of my routine and what I've been doing lately. But basically the way I see it is that cardio shouldn't be easy. Like it shouldn't really be a breeze. It should be challenging, and the more challenging you make it, the more calories you'll burn. So it kind of comes down to that trade-off again. You guys can go for a walk outside and burn maybe 300 calories an hour of just flat walking, just chilled. 300 calories an hour, it's not much, it's like a cheeseburger. Or you can jump on the treadmill and walk on an incline and you'll burn 600 calories an hour. In fact, I took my Apple Watch out on a walk outside, walked for about 70 minutes and I burnt, it said 300 calories, right? So it's not accurate, it's relative. And then I did my usual workout here for 45 minutes and I doubled that. I burnt like 600 in 45 as opposed to 300 in 70. It was crazy and I thought, wow. I know it's obviously not accurate. I don't care about that. It's more like you compare the relative measures. It's that much more challenging, and it is. So that's why you guys can know yourself. If you're walking on an incline, you'll be a little bit out of breath, and it's a little bit difficult, and that's good because it means you're burning calories. And the more calories you're burning, the bigger the deficit is. So that means, one way you can look at it is the more you can eat on a diet. So if you're burning a lot through cardio because you enjoy it throughout the day, then great, you can eat a lot more later on in your diet, which means you can fuel yourself in the gym and you don't have to starve, which is a blessing. So the best thing you guys can do is do something that's consistent and sustainable that you can, like if you enjoy playing sport, then do that, because that's like just tricking your brain. You're doing cardio, you're burning calories, but it's fun. So that's kind of like what I do, but on a really sad level, because I'm just there making intervals up on the treadmill. It's not as fun as playing basketball with your mates, but you do what you gotta do. And I would also suggest be consistent and do something that you can do every day, or every second day at least, that you're not gonna think, this is hell. I have an expiry date on my cardio. I think, okay, I'm doing this for the next 16 weeks. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna get sick results. And then after that, I'm gonna pull it back and maybe walk outside or something different. So know that you can't do it all the time because you will burn out. And really try to start with something that you like. And if you don't, and you think, nah, that's it, I just want to smash it, then start slow. Start with a few times a week, just get in the rhythm of it, get in the vibe, and then, okay, then you increase it from there in accordance with your fat loss and gauge your results as well. But I think it's worth touching on as well, the metabolic adaptation of fat loss. Now, I talk about this in like every single video because it's important. It's important to understand, because if you understand this, you understand fat loss. Now, basically when you're dieting, you're eating less than you're burning. So your body knows that. And that's why a few little things happen, like in terms of like hormonal changes and like under the surface. So one of them is a reduction in NEAT. Now that's your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is literally everything from fidgeting to moving around to standing instead of sitting. All those little things you might subconsciously like do throughout the day, that will go down when you're dieting. And you guys will probably know this if you think about it. If you're like dieting and you're really tired, you're gonna sit, you'll be still, you're not gonna be as fidgety and as active, you don't wanna move around as much. Over the course of the day and the week, that really adds up, like a lot. So that's the biggest change in terms of people, that adaptation, where people say it slows your metabolism. That's really the biggest change. There's a slight reduction in metabolic rate, but most of the time that comes from literally losing body weight. So, but aside from body weight loss, the NEAT is a big factor. So one thing is to try to mitigate this and combat it is track your activity throughout the day. So that's why I use like an Apple Watch, or I used to use a Fitbit, but leveled up. And that way you can see how many steps am I doing a day. Okay, let's try average 10,000 a day, just so you're conscious. And if you have a brain that's as weird as mine, I like to use it as a little competition, because then I think, okay, I'm gonna stand up now and walk around a bit, because I don't want to feel like a little bitch if I hit 8,000 steps and not 10. So that's kind of like in my mind, this keeps me accountable. And it also helps me kind of track my NEAT a little bit, because like my daily steps, it's more, it's keeping me more active than I would be otherwise. Because a lot of people think like you have to increase cardio when you're dieting because your body gets used to the cardio. That's what they think. They say your body gets used to 40 minutes, so then you're gonna have to do an hour, then you have to do 2 hours, you keep dieting, you're gonna have to do cardio for a year. And it's like, no, because what really happens is the adaptation process mainly occurs from the diet, not from the cardio. And so that's where the NEAT reduction comes in. So really, you could stick with half an hour of cardio and you'd be sweet. And then you can slowly just reduce your calories. I wouldn't, or increase the cardio if you want. But like I'm saying, it's like you're not gonna burn 400 calories doing half an hour one day, and then the next week burn 200 doing the exact same workout. You just won't. Your body's using, you might burn a little bit less, like I said, from a loss in body weight, but really there's no magic happening where you're burning less just because your body gets used to it. It's not that smart, okay? It's like, there's other adaptations going on that you have to be mindful of, but really all you guys really need to think about is, I might need to reduce my calories at one point, or I might need to increase my activity, cardio, and I should be conscious about not reducing my NEAT, which means move around, get active, just feel like you're doing something instead of sitting on the couch, especially if you live a sedentary lifestyle, because otherwise you're gonna have to eat nothing. You'll have to eating like 1,500, 1,200, because you're not moving around, you're not burning anything. So that's why it is a trade-off between how much you're actually burning and then how much you're eating. And you've got to be conscious of that all the time. Lately, I've been doing a total of 45 minutes a day. 45 minutes of what I call hard cardio. So you guys from the States, it might sound so funny. Hard cardio. Hard cardio. And that workout is, in particular, we've got, it's mainly treadmill work. So I like the treadmill. I like an incline walking treadmill because I burn a lot of calories. I feel it, it's hard, but it also doesn't ruin me. So it doesn't impact my weights. So what I'll do is a total of 30 minutes on the treadmill. And now I'll do the first 15 minutes of this is alternating with the speed and alternating incline. So the first minute I'll do 5 kilometers an hour, 12 incline. That's quite chilled. And then the next minute I'll do max incline, 6 kilometers an hour. I'm walking like pretty quick. That's like if somebody's kind of low key chasing me and I don't know if they are or not, and I'm kind of don't want to run, but I'm going to do a speed walk. That's the speed up a hill. So it's pretty taxing. And then I'll go back to the 1 minute chilled, 1 minute running away from someone, walking away from someone. So it's kind of like that, and I'll do that for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then once, depending on how I'm feeling, once I hit that 15-minute mark, I'll put it on max incline and 5 kilometers an hour. And every minute, I'll just press the up button, just once, just increase speed by 0.1, every minute. And this is like really difficult. So then I'll go, say on the 15th minute, I'll be max incline 5.1. 16th minute, I'll be at max incline 5.2. I'll keep doing that until I get to about 25 minutes, and then I'll reel it back and just walk on an incline for the next 5. So you might be thinking like, what just happened there? What's going on in my brain? Really, like I said, that is just to distract myself. So, and also increasing intensity. I'm just tricking my brain. So that helps me get through it. It's distracting me. And at the same time, I'm burning a hell of a lot more. So it's like my first 15 are those intervals where I'm just like walking, walking on incline quick, and it's kind of like it shakes it up, and you're looking forward to your rest. If I was to do the whole thing on an average, like of a 12 and 5.5, it'd suck. That's like 30 minutes of just the same shit. It's not like that, so that's why I break it up. So I'll do like 1 minute hard walking, 1 minute chilled walking, and I'll do that for 15, 20 minutes, kind of whatever I'm feeling. And then I'll do that weird thing where I max the incline and I'll just press the button every minute. Just keep going. I'm like, all right, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5. And as soon as I get to 6, when it's the hardest and I'm there struggling, then I do that and I'm done. And then I'm like, sweet, that's like 25 minutes done. I'll walk for 5, get it over with. So that's the 30 minutes of the treadmill done. Then I'll either do 15 minutes on the bike, same principles, 1 minute chilled, 1 minute really hard, like till it's like I couldn't keep that up. Not max, but pretty difficult. Or if I don't want to do the bike, I'll do the stepper. Stepper is a killer. That's really when I've got a lot of energy. And I'll usually do this post-workout, that 15 minutes post-workout, 30 in the morning. But it doesn't matter what I do. You guys can do it whenever you want. So that 15 minutes on the stepper is just pretty much the same thing. I might do a bit quicker, a little bit slower for a minute. And it really, that's just to change it up. I'd rather have 1 minute of going really hard, where I think this is hell at like 15, level 15, and 1 minute of 10. Because then it's like you're looking forward to your rest. It's like, okay, this is okay. But in actual fact, it's not a rest. Because one thing I've noticed is that it's all perspective. It's all like what you're comparing to. It's relative. So if you jump on the treadmill, right, and you're walking at 5 k's an hour on a 12 incline, you're gonna be like, after 7 minutes of that, 10 minutes of that, you're gonna be like, this is pretty difficult. But as soon as you ramp that up to 15 and a speed walk, that 5 seems easy. And you're like, this is rest. So it's relative. So what I like to do is I like to do 1 minute of something really, really hard, like fast walk, like fast stepper, whatever it is, sprint on the bike. 1 minute hard, so that when you go back, you'll be like, okay, this is easy. And that kind of helps, like I said, it tricks your brain a little bit, and then it distracts you, and at the same time, you're working hard, and you're pushing yourself as well. So that's like an example of one of mine. Another one I like to do is same kind of principles. 1 minute chilled walk on the treadmill, 1 minute farmer's walk on the treadmill with weights, 1 minute chilled walk on the treadmill, 1 minute incline walk on the treadmill. And that's a 4 kind of rounds, and then I'll go through that and repeat until I hit like 30. So you'll notice the same trend. It's that same pattern. It's confusing and distracting myself. So oftentimes I don't chuck on Netflix or YouTube. I shouldn't say that. You guys should watch my videos doing cardio. But I don't really like put on like entertainment videos. I usually put my music on and think, this is a workout, let's smash it out, let's get pumped up. My workout is essentially, it's gonna be hard for 45 minutes minimum. That burns the most fat for me because I'm burning probably 600 calories in that session, which is quite a lot. Now, one thing you do have to take notice, I don't want to tell you guys just to do this and that's the only way. That is an advanced way because you're burning a lot of calories. And also you guys have to know that if you're gonna do that, you can't do that all the time. You can't, like, I'm not gonna maintain this cardio workout routine for the next 6 months. I'm doing that for the next probably 3 months while I'm dieting, and then I'll pull the cardio back. But I would like to start with 20 minutes, say 3 times a week, literally just so you can get used to it, get in the habit of it. Or maybe 15 minutes a day, and then you can increase it from there. If you go 60 minutes a day, you'll burn out pretty quick because you'll be great for 2 weeks and then think, I can't keep doing this. Like it'll start to weigh you down. Last cut, I did my cardio workout for 5 months straight. It was 60 minutes a day, then upwards, then up to 90 minutes a day. And towards the end, guys, I could not get out of bed to do it. Like I was literally thinking this is pure hell. So know that there is a time to pull it back. And that might mean literally switching out this kind of more like high intensity cardio workout for walking outside. It's still a bit of cardio, you're burning a little less, but usually what happens is when you pull out your cardio, your intensity in the gym goes up because you have more energy and you have more energy throughout the day. So you burn a little bit more and then really it's like, it kind of can even itself out a little bit. You're not gonna get fat by stopping your cardio, okay? It's just like, I think you'll burn more in other areas, okay? So don't stress about that, but know that there is a time to come off it and just pull it down a little bit. Now, when to do cardio? So this is a question I get asked a lot. And the answer is the best time to do cardio is at 3:30 in the morning. Purely because you shock your body. You guys are like, whoa, really? That sucks. Nah, imagine that. But I just said that to with you guys. The best time is 2:29 a.m. Set your alarm, get up, walk outside. No, the best time is literally whenever is convenient for you, okay? So for me, I like it fasted. Purely because it gets it done and it's a hard workout. It's not something I look forward to every day. So if you do something, the hardest part about your day, if you do that first, it's your best bet at getting it done. 1, because you get it done. And then 2, you're not dreading it for the whole day. And 3, over the course of the day, you build up like minor stresses. So every little decision you make it has an impact on your brain. So even like the tiniest decisions, and think of how many decisions you make on a daily basis. What should you eat for breakfast? What should you know, all these little things, they kind of weigh you down a little bit. And when it gets to the end of the day, you really can't be bothered to do certain things. Like literally, it's a can't be factor. Now, if you save your cardio to the very end of the day, and you've had all this day's worth of thoughts and like things weighing you down, you're not gonna wanna do your cardio, okay? So time it when it suits you. For me, first thing in the morning, I get a chunk of it done. I get at least 30 minutes done. Then I'll train at about 12, so let's say midday, and then I'll get the rest done post-workout. Again, just to get it out of the way so we don't have to stress about it. And two, I'm already kind of like, I've got adrenaline pumping from the gym. I'm kind of feel like I'm active already. I'm already sweaty and gross. May as well get disgusting. So then I'll finish the cardio in the gym. Now that's what I've always done, is either fasted or post-workout, purely because I can't, and I'm not gonna take a pre-workout or a fat burner like at night and not sleep just to get cardio done. It's counterintuitive. So that's my recommendations there. You're not gonna burn any more fat doing it fasted or fed. Trust me guys, you're just not. It literally just depends on personal preference. I do it fasted, like I said, just to get it out of the way, and it's a good start to the day as well. So like I said guys, start small. Start with 20 minutes a few times a week, increase it slowly, get a bit of a feel for it, like gauge your fat loss and then increase it as you go. I wouldn't go more than 60 minutes a day because it's too hard to maintain. So if you can take anything away from this video, like anything, despite everything I've said, it's the best cardio is the cardio that you can do consistently and you can stick to. Because if you can do, there's no use doing it for a week and then stopping. You know, you can only burn a certain amount of fat in a week. It's the amount of fat you'll burn over 12 weeks, 16 weeks. That's what's gonna make a huge difference. So guys, if you can't stick to something as hard as treadmill intervals or anything that's like pretty taxing on your body, just find something easy and be consistent with it because it'll pay off 100%. Now, while I'm on the best cardio, I think I'll talk about the worst cardio. So what I wouldn't recommend, the elliptical. The elliptical is a fiend of cardio machines. Some people can enjoy it and get a good workout out of it, but for me, I find it's more fun than anything else. It's just like it's like what you'd imagine running would be if there was no friction on earth and you're just gliding. That's what I think of the elliptical. You're not burning as many calories because I could just jump on that bad boy all day. And I'd be like, this is great. What's on TV? So I feel like that's not good because in my mind, I'm not burning a lot because it's not intense, it's not hard. If you jump on a cardio machine and it's easy, get off it, okay? Because it's not doing its job. It's not meant to be easy, okay? Another one I really don't like is that seated bike where you're just chilling. That's more of a couch than it is cardio equipment, okay? So get off it. I wouldn't use it, you're not burning anything. Get on the actual spin bike, stand up, do some intervals, smash it out, you'll work a lot harder. Another thing you won't see me doing ever to get lean is ab training. Now, ab training is not cardio, guys. There are no exercises to burn fat. There's no exercises to burn fat on your triceps. It is not a thing. What you have to do is create the deficit and hope that your body's pulling fat from everywhere and the right areas that you want. Okay, so you can't target that. I do train abs year round. When I'm dieting, I train them mainly because it's psychologically like rewarding because you can see the abs, you get an ab pump, you're a bit tighter. But when you're bulking, that's when you're kind of gonna put on a lot more muscle in your abs. So always train them year round, but it's not gonna get you leaner. And finally, I wanna talk about cardio when bulking. So some people like to do this. I don't mind it just because I like to feel like I'm burning a little bit more and getting active. But there's a few benefits to this. One is actual cardiovascular fitness. So when I was bulking, I was probably 10 kilos heavier than I am now. I could not move. So I'd be lifting heavy, training hard at the gym, but I'd be getting puffed, out of breath, and it sucked in the gym. So I needed to increase cardio so I could keep up with the demands of heavier weight just on myself. So I would recommend it for that, but you don't want to let that interfere with your weight training. Okay, so like I said, space them out as much as you can, and it doesn't need to be an everyday thing. It could be 3 times a week just to get your aerobic fitness up. Another benefit is increasing insulin sensitivity. So this is basically the rate at which your body will utilize carbs and how effective it is. And it's kind of like preventing diabetes in simple terms. Like that's what insulin resistance is diabetes. So type 2 diabetes comes from an influx of carbs all the time and a surplus for a long period of time. So that's why in a bulking phase, you do have an influx of carbs, you're in a calorie surplus. And if you do that for an extended period of time, your insulin sensitivity can go down. Now, one way to combat that is a little bit of cardio. So go for a walk, stay active, move around. Easy. So guys, that is basically it. To sum it up, I would say choose a cardio that you enjoy, that you can do all the time. If that's basketball, if that's playing a sport a few times a week, great, perfect. If that's walking outside, fine. But if you're really serious about your fat loss goals and you want to amp it up to the next level, you're going to need to do something that's quite challenging. So I'd recommend it, like one of my workouts that I did, anything that you're breaking a sweat, it's hard, you have to push through it. And you can do that up to 60 minutes a day. But like I said, start slow, slowly increase from there. So just assess yourself, think, okay, what's my objective here? How long are we doing this for? What do you want to get out of it? Then you can kind of think, okay, maybe I should just walk outside. If you're like a 60-year-old man with bad knees, I'm not going to tell you to grab some dumbbells and run on the treadmill, okay? You're going to have to walk outside and just do something a bit more chilled, but you're still moving around, you're still getting the job done, okay? And vice versa. If you're an 18-year-old kid, you're trying to get as lean as possible and you're dieting and you're eating like very little already, don't waste your time walking outside in the flat for 2 hours. Jump on the treadie and smash it out with a hard incline walk for 45 minutes, okay? So that's kind of like the logic. It's very hard to give advice, but because there's so many different people, so I'm hoping that I can give you a bunch of information and you guys can go, okay, that's kind of me, I'm gonna do that. But if you do have any more questions, guys, check them in the comments and I'm sure I can get back to you. A lot of other people will get back to you as well and we can get a bit of a discussion going. But guys, that is it from me. I hope you took something out of this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button right now. If you're still watching this, which I hope you are, like it and comment and let me know that you're still watching because you guys are the best. But otherwise, that is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and you definitely know what to do. Stay massive. Slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.